Good morning, my name is Jacob Toddson. My inspiration for today's video is something that's going on in the city I live in now. Today is the day at the Flying Pig Marathon in Cincinnati, and I'm walking to observe the runners as they come up through the city, and it's made me reflect on our own humanity and the legends and mythologies that we create and still live today, even in our modern world. So that's why in this video, while I watch the marathon, walk to it, and do this reflection, I want to share with you my own thoughts on the importance of mythology and legend to our human culture, to our human identity. The reason I think this video is important and something that you should watch and something that I'm reflecting on while taking this walk is because I think there is kind of this threat that we're losing a little bit of our identity as far as a species, but also with our individual cultures because of our globalized world, along with social media and the news and movies. It just seems like we're starting to lose a little bit of our connection to mythology and legends, especially. And this is a worry because obviously mythology and legend are still so very important if people are running a race 2,000 plus years after it kind of was started. So yeah, I just want to discuss the methods we could use to help protect this, the reason I think paganism is important, the reason I think mythology is important, and in general, just have a lovely conversation about mythology and legend and history, because that's what I love talking about, and hopefully it's what you like listening to. If it is something you like listening to, why don't you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already? I have a library of over 400 videos I've made on paganism, mythology, legend, history, particularly when it comes to Northern Europe, which is where I've been living for the last few years. And now I'm back in the United States to kind of explore what all this information and knowledge that I've gained over these last few years means and how I can give back and share. And so that's actually the beginning plug here. With me being back in Cincinnati, this is really close to where I was raised and grew up. Even born, and so I'm starting monthly healing circles, shaman circles here, and if you're interested in attending those, please check out my website where I have more information. The time of this video coming out, we're doing kind of a Beltane thing, even though Beltane is over at this point, and so if you're interested in coming to that, I would love to share space with you and talk about all things spirituality and ancient belief. And since I am somehow trying to pull the backdrop of this video being the marathon race here in Cincinnati, let me actually give you the history of the first marathon. It's actually kind of interesting. The Battle of Marathon, the Greeks were on the losing side. I think it was the Athenians mostly. And then when the victory happened, a man with a very Greek name ran all the way to Athens. And then when he got there, he exclaimed what is now referred to as Nike. However, in the ancient past, I think it was Nika. Which is the Greek goddess and symbol of victory. And so when the man arrives in Athens, he screams, "Nika!" and then dies. And so that's the story and the legend. But the interesting thing is we don't actually know if this happened. We do know that the battle actually happened. We know more than likely this was some kind of event. We don't actually know how far he ran. The current distance of the marathon is the estimation, because of course, they didn't use the same measurement of time and distance that we use today. And so when he arrived there, we don't actually know how far he ran. We don't quite know if he actually died at the end, but this is the legend that most people know. And this is the legend that inspired, and of course the distance, the approximate distance that he ran is what inspired the distance today. Now the thing I find interesting about humanity, our global story, our culture, our mythology, is we get inspired by these stories, but the story that most people know is that he died at the end. And so we think, okay, well here's this very long distance of running, but we hear this story and we're like, you know what, we should do that. And not only should we do that, we should make thousands of people do it and encourage them to do it, even though at the end of the story, the person dies, at least in the story that we know and survive. So just a brief moment to talk about oral storytelling tradition. This is interesting because this is how we transmitted knowledge for thousands of years. For the majority of our human history, we've transmitted knowledge and information via oral storytelling tradition, because the printing press has been around for less than 1,000 years. Books as a common thing, even less, just because people were mostly illiterate until the last few hundred years or so. And so most of the information used to be transmitted through these oral storytelling traditions. There are many problems associated with oral storytelling, but they also are what create our mythology and the stories that we have and the legends we have, and why stories such as the one of the origins of the marathon are so debatable, because we weren't necessarily writing down exact facts. We were embellishing stories as a global culture. And so people, when they would tell stories, tell the story of the first marathon of the man who ran this marathon, it would change a lot of the details. Now, obviously, the Greeks were writing some things down, and of course, the Romans were as well, but we were still changing stories and embellishing them. That's what we do. The Romans were notoriously very famous for embellishing things, and so were the Greeks. And so that's one of the problems that we run into with mythology. But one of the benefits we run into, that we have with mythology and these stories that were told and the legends, is that we added these mythological elements. And within this mythology, we have a lot of our identity and our ancient past and our roots. And now that as we're moving forward into the world we're in, these lines are getting more and more blurred. And it's becoming, I don't know, I just feel like we're losing something when it comes to the way we transmit information. You know, we have video formats, we have written formats, we have so many different ways to share in these days, and it's so easy to share. But I think there's an element of this. There's a root that we're starting to miss. We're growing in so many different directions as a tree that we're starting to dissolve our roots and origins of things. Like, there's 30,000 people running this marathon, but how many of those 30,000 people know the actual origins of the marathon, know where they began, and know the story behind it? And I think that's really important for us to know. And maybe that's where I see my role within society, is telling the story, telling the roots and the origins of these things. Because I think if we start losing those roots of where things come from, we're gonna lose something. We're gonna lose a part of ourselves. And I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that, you know, the origins of these things. I didn't even know, like, Nike as a brand, like, one of the reasons their name is Nike is the story. That's wild. And I do think it's just very important. I mean, how many people don't know the origins of the days of the week, where these names come from? I mean, the very fact that it's Sunday right now, the day of the sun, Monday, the day of the moon. You know, these things are, I think, important for us to know, and I don't want them to get lost. And so that's kind of my PSA to the world, and my reflections of the day is I just really don't want to lose our culture. I don't want us to lose our roots in time and history. So this is like a two-part video because there's another thing I've been reflecting on, and I hope you don't mind. I just like making videos sometimes where I share my honest thoughts, kind of filtering the world through everything that I've experienced. And it's funny for me reflecting on a marathon because I look at this now and I'm thinking, you know what, I want to do that. I have not run more than 2.5 miles in my entire life, and yet I'm looking at a marathon, I'm like, I should do that. And I think one of the reasons that I think that way is because I've been following an Odinic path for some time. And so if you don't know and you're new to this channel, about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago now, I sold everything that I owned in order to travel and just experience life, pursue different spiritual festivals and events, sweat lodges, ayahuasca, everything. Because I was just trying to figure out life, trying to figure out more about existence, explore more of who I am. And I really just kind of put myself to the test. And it's kind of through Odin and his story that I started doing this, because the Odinic story is that Odin wanted to achieve knowledge, wanted to pursue wisdom. And so by doing basically crazy things, and I really just embodied this. And so after doing this for 2.5 years, I feel completely changed. I've learned so very much. I'm so very grateful. And now that I'm back into like a normal life, so to speak, living in one place, I see things like this. And I'm like, you know what? I want to do that. And that has been a really great lesson for me. And so, oh wait, I can pull this back because again, here we have a mythological story. The story of Odin goes back for at least 1,500 years plus. And I think it's really cool that it inspired someone like me, someone who may or may not have any Scandinavian heritage at all. And yet I'm sitting here reading the story about a one-eyed guy sacrificing things to gain wisdom. Now, Odin could be based on a living person, could be based on an actual deity, or it's an amalgamation of many stories from people. And that doesn't really matter. It's a part of human history. So whether Odin is a god, person, amalgamation, it doesn't matter. What matters is it inspires us to do things. And that's why I want to keep the stories of like Odin alive and tell people, hey, Odin and his story, God or not, inspired me to make a change in my life, to challenge myself, to become a better version of myself. And it sucked. It was hard. I mean, traveling the world is an amazing experience, but to do that, to sell everything, to sell my past self, to get rid of that, and to also put myself through these trials and tribulations that I've never done before, that was very difficult. And yeah, there was a lot of really hard moments. I've had a lot of really hard realizations this last year, but through the suffering, through the pain, through the sweat lodge, through the vomiting of the ayahuasca, through the thousands of miles, through the many steps and people I've met, I've become a better version of me, and a more truer version of me too. And now that I have that, that's all I could ever want for anyone else, because I used to be the 250-pound gaming nerd that never did anything physical or anything like that. And now I look at a marathon and I want to do it. And I'm so happy for that. And I'm not saying everyone needs to run a marathon or sell all their possessions and travel the world. I mean, those are things that help me. My story can hopefully help others, and my story was inspired by Odin. And so that's the importance and power of mythology and legend and oral storytelling, is it inspires us to be better versions of ourselves. And that's why I love the really diverse cultures of the world, because there's stories for everyone out there, stories to inspire us all. And I really hope we don't lose those stories. And I want to keep those stories alive, both of the ancient past and of today. And look at this. Maybe one person died in the ancient past running a marathon, running from marathon to shout Nike, Nika, to shout victory. And here we are 2,000 plus years later, and people are running a marathon in memory of this story, of this legend. And this is the true power of humanity. I don't worry too much about the concrete around me, the skyscrapers, because the power of humanity, I think, is going to always persevere and to live on. And so that's what gives me hope. And so through humanity, culture, roots, the tree of life, and all this is how we keep going, and what gives me hope to move on and to continue to be a better version of me. And I hope this video helps you be inspired and to be a better version of you too. And I hope I'm able to actually market this video well, because I know it's been a little bit rambly. But I'm gonna go to the finish line and start plotting what I'm gonna do next year when I hopefully run the marathon myself. So thank you so very much for joining me for this rambly video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video here at the Wisdom of Odin.